2019, our next guest fled communist Cuba for the United States. But when he got here, he was shocked by how many young Americans embraced socialism. And now he's working to dismantle the socialist deception. Justo Antonio Triana joins us now. Justo, so great to have you on the show. What are the biggest misconceptions that American students have about socialism and communism?
Well, I think that they are very confused about the idea of how is life in Cuba and how does that work, and they think that because there is free healthcare and free education, like life is easy and happy, but in reality that's not true, and we pay dearly for those things. We pay with our freedom, we pay with our human rights. We don't have any opportunity to have a life with dignity and basic human rights.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why people are willing to go through shark-infested waters to get here. Looks like the free healthcare isn't going to keep them on the island. Let me ask you this, Justo, because you say that schools in Cuba are used for indoctrination. You also say, and by the way, that sounds familiar to what's happening here in America, but you also say that students are afraid to speak up, that there are real repercussions to doing that. We know that's true, but do you see that happening here, that there's social shaming and that there's cancel culture and all kinds of things that are keeping kids silent and speaking the truth?
Yes, I think that nowadays, a lot of people are pushing this leftist propaganda and creating an ambience in which to say differently, then you become, isolated. You become kind of politically incorrect, and they put you in the wrong side of history, let's say, and they make you appear as if you're morally incorrect.
This is the scariest sound you will hear when you live in a communist country. This is the last sound my parents heard when their fathers were taken away in the middle of the night, and they never saw their loved ones again. That's the sound of losing your freedom, the sound of always living in fear. That's my family's real life story. We escaped from Vietnam just days before Saigon fell to the communists. We were given a new life in the most generous country on earth. America saved my life. I graduated from the United States Naval Academy. I earned a master's in physics and fellowships at MIT and Harvard before the left replaced merit with racial quotas. I spent my life trying to repay my debt to America, my country, our country, with 25 years of service in Navy Special Operations, combat in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. But now our country has taken a dark turn. That's Joe Biden's Justice Department sending 24 armed agents to arrest a pro-life activist in front of his family. That's Joe Biden's IRS raiding a gun shop and seizing thousands of records from law-abiding gun owners, our names, our addresses, our social security numbers. That's Joe Biden arresting his challenger in the next election, a former president of the United States. And now a different sound. That's the sound of someone breaking into your home or business. The sound of crime destroying our cities and communities. That's how it all starts. They let criminals back on our streets. Millions of illegal immigrants pour across our border each year, including military-aged men from all over the world. And enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child in this country. And the Biden family? Well, that's how it works in a dictatorship. The rules don't apply to the rulers. We are losing our country. You know it, but you also know you can't say it. We're forced to say that wrong is right. We're forced to lie. We can't let that happen. I've been all over the world. Believe me when I tell you, if America fails, there's nowhere else to go.